In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to machine this open pocket here. So first, I'm going to go to toolpaths. I'm going to choose pocket. Let the chaining manager pop up. I'm going to switch back to solids. And I want a partial loop. I'm going to come over here and I just want to choose this part that loops around. Let's just zoom in here. Around here. So it might be easier just to choose the edges. So I'm going to select this edge and it goes around and it goes too far. So again, we're just going to back it up. And it's going to keep clicking back. Whoops, I went one too far. So I'm going to tell it to go forward to the next. So I want to go to here. And I want to be aware of a couple things. One is the chamfer. I have to make sure I compensate for that or start the tool well out here. But at any rate, this is the geometry we need machined. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to come here and I'm told the roughing tools of 5/16 flat end mill. So I'm going to go tool. I haven't used a 5/16 end mill, so I'm going to go into the library. I'm going to say filter. This time I'm going to set the size to 5/16. I'll say OK. Select the 5/16 end mill. Again, say OK. So I want to set the speeds and feeds up. So 500 again. Feed per tooth, 5 thou. The plunge rate is 25 thou. I'll add a comment. This is going to be to rough the open pocket. And I forgot to turn on caps lock. So I'll go back and turn that on. So I've added my comment. I'm going to just double check everything. Rapid retracts on. Cutting speed is correct. Feed per tooth is correct. So next I'll go to the cut parameters. And here I want to tell it the pocket type is open. And I'm also going to say use the open pocket cutting method, because if I don't, it won't start the tool out here. It'll still feed down into the solid material. Now I'm told to leave 25 thou on all walls and floor for the finishing. And I want to create that additional finishing operation for this. I'm going to leave this turned on. So again, I'm going to double check all this. If I start 125% out, this chamfer will be taken care of. So I'll accept that. And then for the roughing, any of these patterns is fine. It doesn't tell us what we need to use. I'm going to go to the finishing, and it does say for the finish tool pass to take one pass at a spacing of 15 thou, which I already have. So that's good. Depth cuts isn't required for this. So next I'm going to go to the linking parameters. I'm told to set them all to absolute, and they are. So now I'm going to choose the depth I want to cut to, and that's this geometry here. So it sets the depth. The coolant's on because the last time I used this pocketing tool path, I turned it on, so it assumes I want it on still here. So everything looks good. I'm going to say OK. And I look at the cut lines. They all look good. But the first thing I want to do is I'm going to minimize that. I want to just look at these cut lines. So I'm going to make sure I've turned everything off. So let's just look at the roughing cut lines. They look good. I'll shut that off. Then I'll look here. They look good as well. It's going to clean up all the floors and the wall. It's important we clean the floor up here, not so much back here, but that's okay. It's an introductory course. I'm going to leave it at that for now. And then in the next video, we're going to continue from there, and we're going to machine this island pocket. And I want to reread my instructions, and I say, oh, it tells me to use a 1/4 inch end mill for a finished tool path. So I need to go in here to my finished tool path, up here to tool, and here I have used a 1/4 inch end mill before, so I'm going to select it, and I'm going to let it be my finished tool. I'll have to reset the feed and speed, and again I'm going to put this back to the machine cap at 7,000. Set the feed per tooth and the plunge rate back. I'm going to add the comment. And I'm going to finish the open pocket only. So now I have the proper cutter. I want to also go to the cut parameters, make sure I remove this. And I'll say OK. I'll regenerate that tool path. It looks good. Just going to turn the cut lines off and minimize this one. And now I can come back and add the remaining pocketing tool path for this island facing.